Hey everyone, and welcome back to today's Explainer. Today we're exploring one of the most fascinating and honestly most urgent mysteries in tech right now, Agentic AI. Astronomical levels of funding are just pouring into these autonomous systems, yet behind closed doors, a shocking number of them are quietly falling apart in production. So let's look at exactly why they're failing and examine the blueprints of the ones that actually survive.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the AI cancellation crisis. Next, we'll unpack the deceptive trend of agent washing. Then, we're going to walk through a 6-step blueprint for survival. And finally, deliver the real verdict on AI.
All right, part 1, the AI cancellation crisis.
To really grasp the sheer scale of the capital being wasted right now, we've got to look at this stark prediction from Gartner. They polled over 3,400 organizations, and they're saying that by the end of 2027, more than 40% of all agentic AI projects will be entirely canceled. And I want to emphasize that word canceled, not, scaled back, not pivoted to a new use case, completely, entirely killed. Why? Well, the data points to costs just spiraling out of control, totally unclear business value, and a severe lack of risk controls. But here's the really fascinating twist. Gartner explicitly states that the problem isn't that the AI agents themselves don't work. The problem is us, the humans deploying them. We are making fundamentally wrong decisions about where and how to actually use this technology.
And this massive failure rate is happening right in the middle of the biggest wave of enterprise AI spending in history. $242 billion. That's how much flowed into global AI investments in just the first quarter of 2026 alone. We are talking about staggering, unprecedented levels of investment here, which sets up a massive and somewhat terrifying contrast with the reality of actual working deployments.
Now, what's really interesting here is the steep, sudden drop-off in adoption. McKinsey notes that while 62% of organizations are out there experimenting with AI agents in some capacity, a tiny, tiny fraction, just 11%, are actively running them on live business data. This gap between playing around in a sandbox and actually deploying in the real world is exactly where agentic AI projects go to die. They work beautifully in polished demos, they work fine in controlled pilots, but they completely fall apart the second they hit the messy reality of production data, legacy IT systems, unpredictable human users, and strict regulatory requirements.
Which brings us to part 2. Beware of agent washing. If we want to diagnose the root cause of these failures, we really have to look past the marketing hype. Out of the thousands upon thousands of software companies currently claiming to offer agentic AI capabilities, Gartner estimates that only about 130 of them are building anything that genuinely deserves that label, just 130. The rest of the market is engaging in a practice the industry is now calling agent washing. This is basically when a vendor takes an old existing chatbot or a basic robotic process automation tool, slaps the word agent on the packaging, and ships it without adding any meaningful autonomous reasoning capabilities.
And this brilliantly illustrates the difference, which is actually quite simple. If a tool just waits for a prompt and responds to a query, well, that's a chatbot with a better marketing budget. A true AI agent has the ability to autonomously plan a sequence of actions, execute those actions across multiple steps, and actually adapt its approach if it hits a roadblock. What's happening in the market right now is executives are buying these agent-washed chatbots, inevitably experiencing deep disappointment when the tool doesn't magically run their department, and then blaming agentic AI as a failed concept. This misattribution is toxic, and it's killing real, viable projects right alongside the fake ones.
Let's shift gears to part 3, the blueprint for survival.
So how do we build systems that actually deliver? Research from MIT Sloan, McKinsey, Deloitte, BCG, Forrester, and Gartner all converges on 6 core principles. Principle 1 is narrow scope. The most common trap is trying to deploy this vague, general-purpose agent across an entire department without even defining what done actually looks like. The projects that survive choose specific, highly well-defined tasks. They know exactly what the inputs and outputs are. For example, if you're deploying an agent in customer service, your target metric should be a 40 to 60% reduction in average handling time. If it's claims processing, you measure the exact cost savings per claim per month. Gartner's advice here is wonderfully blunt. Use AI agents when decisions are needed, use standard automation for routine workflows, and use assistance for simple information retrieval. Do not confuse the 3.
Principle 2 is human-in-the-loop governance. Basically, this means you structurally require a human to review and approve things before an agent is allowed to execute any high-stakes action. If the agent is going to modify financial records, update live customer data, or send a regulated communication, really anything difficult to reverse, a human absolutely must sign off. Now, the EU AI Act actually mandates this for high-risk AI systems starting in August of 2026. But the smart companies out there aren't waiting for regulators to force their hand, they're building these checkpoints today, because agents operating without them fail in ways that are deeply, deeply expensive.
So the crucial point is that the stakes here are incredibly high. A chatbot mistake is immediately visible, right? But an agent mistake can cascade through entire business processes. If a chatbot hallucinates, the user sees a weird answer, shrugs and moves on. But if an autonomous agent hallucinates, it might quietly modify a database record, which then triggers a downstream workflow, which compounds into a massive error before any human even realizes something is broken. Human checkpoints are absolutely not optional. They are the circuit breakers that prevent a small hallucination from becoming a catastrophic business failure.
Principle 3 is least privilege access. Current research shows a genuinely terrifying stat. 90% of deployed agents in the enterprise are over-permissioned. They have access to far more systems and sensitive data than their specific narrow task actually requires. The fix for this is purely architectural. You need purpose-specific service accounts and gateway-mediated database access. To put it simply, if your agent's job only requires reading from one specific table in one database, it should absolutely never, ever have broad write access to every single table in your entire corporate network.
And that architectural control builds directly into principles 4 and 5, observability and failure design. Because these agents act autonomously, every single decision they make must be logged to create a fully auditable trail. If you don't have observability, your agent is basically a black box. And a black box taking autonomous actions in production, that is a massive corporate liability. Furthermore, because agents are literally designed to adapt and retry when they face an obstacle, you have to design for failure from day one. You must define explicit stop conditions. Without them, an agent will just keep thinking, keep repeatedly calling tools incorrectly, and get stuck in an endless retry loop that just burns massive amounts of computing power while producing absolutely nothing. You need maximum step limits and rollback triggers to pull the plug the second confidence drops.
Principle 6 is realistic cost modeling, which honestly provides a pretty harsh reality check. In a pilot program, a coding agent might cost you $200 per developer per month. But when you push that exact same agent to production, where it's suddenly using full context windows, executing complex multi-step reasoning chains, and running through those retry loops we just talked about, that cost can easily balloon to $2,000 per month. Most organizations discover that their data infrastructure is completely inadequate for production volumes about 6 months into a project, usually right after they thought they had a wildly successful pilot. Because of these scaling costs, the strict industry guidance right now is to budget 40% of your total project cost strictly for post-launch optimization. Not the initial build, but the heavy lifting of optimizing and refining the system after it goes live.
Let's wrap this up with part 4, the real verdict on AI.
Bringing all this together, when you really look at these 6 principles, narrow scope, access control, audit logs, fail-safes, none of them are actually revolutionary, and that is exactly the point. AI deployment isn't magic. It requires the exact same rigorous deployment discipline that enterprises have always applied to business-critical software. The problem is that the marketing hype has made agents sound like they just work right out of the box, causing highly paid professionals to suddenly forget decades of basic software deployment rules. Gartner's prediction that 40% of projects will fail is definitely going to be read by many as a verdict on AI technology itself, but that's the wrong reading. It's a verdict on poor management.
As we look toward 2027, the agents that actually survive out there won't necessarily be the ones running the absolute largest models. They're going to be the ones built with precision. So ask yourself, will your AI agent have a clearly defined job? And, most importantly, will it have a human name firmly attached to the override switch? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.